Hey mate, are you going into the gym and you're just struggling with bench press because you just keep on going in and out of pain? Well, today I'm going to show you some great cues to help you get out of pain and then show you this one exercise that you should be doing to keep that pain from ever coming back. Let's check it out. Hey mate, my name's Adam and I help you return to the gym and stay there. So today we're talking about shoulder pain while you're doing bench press. So the biggest cue that I'm going to teach you today is break the bar, okay? So if you haven't heard the term break the bar, you are in for a treat. I'm sure this is definitely going to help you out, okay? So usually when we're doing bench press, we're all just focusing on just pushing the weight up and then pulling the weight towards our chest, okay? But we're not thinking about how we can arrange our joints and arrange our shoulders when we're pushing that weight up, which is so very important, because if you think we're doing bench press, we need to make sure that we're stabilizing our shoulders in a good position, because if we don't, then other parts of your body need to jump in there and try to pick up the slack. So a lot of the time, if we're doing bench press and we're not thinking about what our shoulders are doing or stabilizing our shoulders will kick in to pick up the slack. So our shoulders might go forward, they might, usually what will happen is our shoulders will kind of bench press up forward or will shrug up towards our ears. And all these muscles that really aren't designed to do that will kick in and then get really tuckered out and probably give you a bit of a pain issue, okay? What we're going to practice today is how to get those shoulders in an awesome, great position so that we can just let your chest and arms push the weight up. So first things first, we need to learn how to break the bar, i.e. stabilize our shoulders before we press up. So we're going to teach you how to do that and then show you an exercise that is going to teach you all these things and put them into practice. So then when you go into the bench press, it's going to be a lot easier and going to make a lot more sense. So when we mean break the bar, so if I hold my hands out here, what we're doing is we're squeezing the barbell here, and if you watch where the back of my elbows are, they're actually going to turn forward, okay? So what that's doing, if we look from the side angle here, is if I go into this shrug position and I'm benching like this, my elbows tend to flare out and whatnot. But if I start here and then I try to break the bar, what it does is it gets my lats fired up and pulls my shoulder out of this hunched position or upper trap position. It's going to pull that down into there. My lats are fired up, my shoulders are nice and stable. I pull it here and it's actually going to track my elbows in a really good position rather than out here like this. If I break the bar, it's going to bring my elbows closer to my body and my shoulders are going to really thank me for that. So I'm breaking the bar here, pulling it down. I can feel my lats working, everything's really stable, and all I have to think about is letting my chest push the bar up and then pull the bar towards my chest. Now, the other important thing is the bar path, okay? Because if we are just pressing from our chest just straight up, we're going to tend to flare the elbows anyway, okay? And it's going to make it a lot harder. What we want to be able to do is press from our chest and then out to the front of our chest. So it's kind of like in a more of a diagonal trajectory rather than a straight up and down trajectory. The way that'll look like in the bench press is like this. So before we unrack the bench, we want to make sure that we break the bar. Before we pick it up, make sure we've got a bit of space between here. Breaking the bar, unrack, and I can really feel my lats working by breaking the bar. We're breaking the bar here, and instead of just pressing straight up and down, which makes my shoulders flare out like this, I'm going to start here and we're going to pull that down towards the bottom of your chest, okay? And how we can increase the more stability in our shoulders is to get a bit more of a bigger arch, okay? So what we do is we break the bar like so, and then I'm going to think about arching my back slightly, okay? And you should feel your shoulder blades want to come together. We want them to come together, but also come down at the same time. So I've got a big arch here. I'm pulling that all the way down to below my chest and then pressing that up, keeping that same position. Make sure the top part of the position, those shoulders are intact. They're implanted into the bench, and we don't want to lose our stability at the top like this. We want to make sure we keep them backing down and breaking the bar. Okay, so we've taught you a few cues about breaking the bar, keeping the shoulder blades down, and then getting a nice arch in your upper back, okay? So the one exercise that I have promised you that we're gonna put that all together is the seated row. And you may think that, what has the seated row got to do with the bench press? Well, it's got a lot to do with the bench press. So if you think about what the seated row looks a lot like, it looks like the bench press, okay? And the reason why it does that, because it's the scapular or the shoulder blade position that we need to go in and out of for the row. And it's a really good teacher on how to keep your shoulders stabilized so that you can push that weight up. And if we think of the bench press as more of a pulling movement, we tend to stabilize our shoulders a lot better and get a lot more out of our bench press, and i.e. get a less pain while we're doing it. So a lot of people, when they're doing the seated row, they'll just go through the motion, okay, even get a few shrugs up here. They're not really thinking about what their shoulders are doing throughout the exercise. But if we break it down and we slow it down, we can get a lot more out of this and hopefully get your shoulders out of pain. So we're gonna break it down into two movements here. So the first is the starting movement. What we'll do is we let the shoulder blades come a little bit forward like so. So it may look like I'm rounding my back or just letting the shoulders come forward a little bit. And what we're doing is we're in a bit of a crappy position for bench press. We're gonna learn how to get ourselves out of there. So we add a bit of weight on there like so. And what we're doing is I'm gonna think about breaking the bar and pulling my shoulder blades down while getting a bit of an arch, okay? Once I'm in this position, I'm ready to row and pull it towards my belly. And even then I'm gonna give it more, I'm gonna break the bar more, squeeze my shoulder blades down and get an even bigger arch in my back, okay? So how the tempo would work for this exercise is you'd let the shoulder blades come forward a little bit, we'd break the bar, pull it here, and then pull it towards your chest. And as we're letting that come back down towards it, we don't want to lose position straight away. We want to keep that good position, let it come all the way down there until my arms are lengthened, and then relax and let it come forward slightly. So this is how it would look. So we'd pull in there, like that, forward, and then like that. Good. Once you get better at it, you can make it a little bit less clunky, make it smoother. So we can go like that and like that. And even from just doing those little reps there, I can really feel it working my rhomboids and middle traps, i.e. these are the muscles that you use to stabilize your shoulders, so we can let your chest and your arms do all the work. So that about sums it up for today. If you want to get out of pain in your bench press, I really recommend on cultivating that just really good bench press position in your seated row. You could do bench press and seated row. You could superset the two. So you could start off with doing your slow seated row, getting the rhomboids and middle traps working hard, and then going into your bench press and see if you can get that position a lot better. I'm sure it's going to help you out with your shoulder pain like it has for mine and other clients in the past. If you feel like you need that just a little bit more help, I've made a special guide for you called the 7 Lifts to Bulletproof Your Body After Injury. So this is a guide I've made for people that tend to be getting out of pain, they go back to the gym and pain tends to always return for them. It's these little key tips to make sure that when they return to the gym, they're hitting the technique right, getting the right cues and making sure that they're not in any compromised positions in the gym that could cause them pain or issue down the line. I'm gonna drop that down in the description box below, so please make sure to click on that. Please make sure to give this video a like, or if you wanna see more great videos just like this, please make sure to click that subscribe button. My name's Adam. I help you return to the gym and stay there.